Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is VC Pramod with the Midday News. The headlines. Both Houses of Parliament adjourned till 2 p.m. Election Laws Amendment Bill 2021 envisaging to link Aadhaar with electoral roll data introduced in Lok Sabha. Centre informs Lok Sabha that medium of instruction in Indian and regional languages has been made compulsory in new Education Policy 2020. A high-level team of Election Commission visits Goa to review Assembly poll preparedness. Over 137 crore 67 lakh doses of COVID vaccine administered in the country so far. Recovery rate stands at 98.39%. Cold wave conditions to prevail for next 2 days in northwest India. In football, India enters the final of SAF Under-19 Women's Championship 2021. And in cricket, BCCI announces Indian squad for Under-19 World Cup 2022. As India marches towards administering 150 crore vaccine doses against COVID-19, news about the new corona variant is a cause for concern. In this situation, we appeal to our listeners to get fully vaccinated at the earliest and help others get vaccinated. Please continue to follow these 3 simple steps to stay safe. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And other news in detail. Both Houses of Parliament have been adjourned till 2 p.m. following continuous protests by opposition parties. In the Rajya Sabha, when the House met for the day, Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu disallowed the notices given by the opposition members to suspend business to discuss the Lakhimpur Kheri incident. Following this, members from the Congress, TMC, DMK and others created noisy scenes leading to adjournment of the House till 2 p.m. In the Lok Sabha, when the House assembled for the day, members from Congress, DMK, TMC and others trooped into the well, raising slogans over the Lakhimpur Kheri incident and demand for removal of Minister of State for Home, Ajay Kumar Mishra. DMK members were demanding the release of 55 fishermen arrested by the Sri Lankan Navy. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla repeatedly urged the agitating members to go back to their seats, but in vain. Amid ruckus, the House took up the question hour. As the pandemonium continued, the House was briefly adjourned till 12 noon. When the House reassembled at 12 noon, opposition members again trooped into the well. Amid uproar, the Election Laws Amendment Bill 2021 was introduced in the House. As the ruckus continued, the presiding officer adjourned the House till 2 p.m. Meanwhile, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi has said that the government is ready to discuss all the issues in the House.
सस्पेंडेड एमपीज का ही इशू है, इसीलिए उन पार्टी को नेता से बात करके हम हल निकालना चाहते थे. अभी भी आग्रह कर रहे हैं कि कृपया आ जाइए, हम बैठ के बात करेंगे. आपका जो सुझाव देना है उधर ही दे दो ना. आप संविधान दिवस भी बाइकआउट करते हैं, अब सब लोग आपको बाइकआउट ही कर रहे हैं. अब तो समझ लो, आप उधर आके कृपया आपका जो कुछ भी सुझाव है दे दो ना. आप बाइकआउट करने का ये क्या नया परंपरा डाल रहे हैं आप.
Law Minister Kiren Rijiju today introduced the Election Laws Amendment Bill 2021 in the Lok Sabha amid sloganeering by the opposition members. Opposition members, including Congress and Left, opposed the introduction of the Election Laws Amendment Bill 2021. Allaying the apprehension of opposition members, Mr. Rijiju said the bill is intended to legislate a strong act to prevent bogus and fake voting. He said it will lead to add some provisions in the Representation of the People Act 1950 and 1951 by which Aadhaar can be linked with electoral rolls. The minister said it will ensure credible electoral roll and the bill fully qualifies the contours outlined by the Supreme Court in the verdict of Justice K.S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India regarding protection of right to privacy as a fundamental right. Earlier, opposition opposed the bill, terming it infringement of protection of fundamental rights of privacy. Opposition claimed it is against the fundamental rights of the Constitution.
The Centre today said that the new education policy NEP, medium of instruction in Indian and regional languages, has been made compulsory. Replying to a question in the Lok Sabha, Minister of State for Education Annapurna Devi informed that the centre issues advisories time to time in this regard. She said that the education is subject of concurrent list and state governments, if wish, they can implement regional languages and dialects including Bhojpuri. In reply to another question, she said, under Pradhan Mantri Poshan Shakti Nirman PM Poshan, one hot cooked meal in government and government aided schools is provided to students at the elementary level of education. A high-level team of the Election Commission of India, led by Chief Election Commissioner Sushil Chandra, will be visiting Goa today to review preparedness ahead of the assembly polls. The elections to 40 assembly seats are due in February 2022. During the 3-day visit, the Election Commission will hold various meetings to take stock of the preparedness of the polls.
Over 137 crore 67 lakh doses of COVID vaccine have been administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. The Union Health Ministry said more than 15 lakh 82,000 vaccine doses were administered in the last 24 hours. The ministry said 8,077 COVID patients recovered during the last 24 hours and the national recovery rate stands at 98.39%. Till now, more than 3 crore 41 lakh 87,000 people have recovered from COVID-19. The country reported 6,563 new COVID cases in the last 24 hours. Currently, India's active caseload is around 82,000. The Union government has said more than 145 crore 61 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been provided to states and union territories so far. The Health Ministry today said around 18 crore unutilized vaccine doses are still available with the states and UTs to be administered. As part of the nationwide vaccination drive, the government has been supporting the states and UTs by providing them COVID vaccines free of cost.
2 new Omicron cases have been reported in Delhi today. With this, the total case tally in the city has risen to 24. Delhi Health Department said out of these, 12 have been discharged and 12 are under treatment. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal today said all positive COVID cases in Delhi will be sent for genome sequencing for Omicron now in view of the rise in COVID cases for some days. Briefing media this afternoon, the Chief Minister said there is no need to panic and the government has made all arrangements in place. He appealed to people to continue to use masks and follow COVID protocols. Mr. Kejriwal also urged the centre to allow booster doses as 99% people in Delhi have already received their first dose and 70% have received their second dose.
The U.S. infectious disease expert Dr. Anthony Fauci says Christmas travel will increase the spread of the Omicron COVID-19 variant even among the fully vaccinated. He said at a Meet the Press program yesterday that there is no doubt that Omicron has an extraordinary capability of spreading. Dr. Fauci said the variant was now raging through the world. Countries are tightening measures as the heavily mutated variant spreads. In Europe, France and Germany are among those to issue travel restrictions, and the Netherlands has imposed a strict lockdown over Christmas. Dr. Fauci further said the rapid spread of Omicron in the U.S. could have a serious impact on health services across the country. Paris has put off traditional New Year fireworks as Europe braced for tighter curbs to rein in the spread of the new strain of the coronavirus, fueling a resurgence in COVID-19 cases worldwide. EU Chief Ursula von der Leyen has warned the Omicron coronavirus variant could be dominant in Europe by mid-January. Many countries have decided to reintroduce travel restrictions and other containment measures since it was first detected in South Africa last month. In Ireland, bars and restaurants will have to close from 8 p.m. until January the 30th, Prime Minister Michael Martin announced. And Switzerland is also stepping up anti-COVID measures from today as the country battles an intense fifth wave of the virus, which has killed at least 5,335,968 people since the outbreak emerged in China in December 2019.
Talking to All India Radio, the member of Niti Aayog, Dr. V.K. Paul, said that the government has taken effective measures to minimize the transmission of the pandemic.
COVID-19 pandemic of control strategy can be visualized in 2 dimensions. Firstly, it was an effort as a whole of government, whole of nation effort, and whole of society. Secondly, it is an effort that is driven by science, and India exhibited a great response to the pandemic. WHO declared SARS-CoV-2 outbreak as a global pandemic, we were already instituting various measures to ensure the chain of transmission of the virus to be minimal.
In our bilingual live phone-in program, Corona Jagrukta series, Phone In with Public, Dr. Sanjay Pandey of GB Pant Hospital, New Delhi, will be with us tonight to answer the queries related to coronavirus. Listeners can ask questions to the expert from 9:30 p.m. on telephone number 011-2342-1230 and 011-2342-1764. You can also post your queries on our Twitter handle at @AIR News Alerts by #AskAIR.
President Ramnath Kovind will arrive in Kerala tomorrow on a 4-day visit to the state. The President is scheduled to reach Kannur Airport tomorrow afternoon and will proceed to Kasaragod, where he will participate in the 5th convocation of the Central University of Kerala. News just in, the Rajya Sabha has been adjourned till 3 p.m. Tripura has earned fame in the international markets by sending pineapple consignments to several states across the country as well as foreign countries, and now the state has started exporting processed food as well. Tripura Chief Minister Biplab Kumar Deb on Saturday flagged off a consignment of 40 metric tons of processed pineapple for Hamburg, Germany. A report from our Agartala correspondent.
The consignment of 40 metric tons of processed pineapple filled in cans was flagged off from Kumarghat Industrial Estate in the Unakoti district of Tripura. This is the first such big shipment sent to any foreign country in recent times. Addressing the flag-off event, Mr. Dev said that the sense of self-reliance is imbued among the people of the state. He said, inspired by the positive and conducive environment created by the government, the entrepreneurs have found a new way of earning and people are now showing interest in entrepreneurship development. He also said that in addition to conventional yields, value-added cash and other fruit or crop production are helpful in increasing the income of farmers. The state grows an estimate of 1.28 lakh metric ton pineapples every year across nearly 9,000 hectares or acres in different districts, while over 4,000 people are directly involved in this fruit cultivation. This is Rina Nomaitem from Agartala.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. The Lok Sabha adjourned till 2 p.m. and the Rajya Sabha adjourned till 3 p.m. Election Laws Amendment Bill 2021 envisaging to link Aadhaar with electoral roll data introduced in Lok Sabha. Centre informs Lok Sabha that medium of instruction in Indian and regional languages have been made compulsory in new education policy 2020. A high-level team of Election Commission visits Goa to review assembly poll preparedness. Over 137 crore 67 lakh doses of COVID vaccine administered in the country so far. Recovery rate stands at 98.39%. Cold wave conditions to prevail for the next 2 days in northwest India. In football, India enters the final of the SAF Under-19 Women's Championship 2021. And in cricket, BCCI announces Indian squad for Under-19 World Cup 2022. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the Midday News. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Prayagraj in Uttar Pradesh tomorrow and participate in a one-of-its-kind program that will be attended by over 2 lakh women. Mr. Modi will transfer an amount of 1,000 crore rupees in the bank account of self-help groups benefiting around 16 lakh women members. This transfer is being done under the Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana National Rural Livelihood Mission. During the program, the Prime Minister will also be transferring a total amount of over 20 crore rupees to more than 1 lakh beneficiaries under the Mukhya Mantri Kanya Sumangala scheme. Minister of State for Home Affairs Nishit Pramanik has said that internal security situation of the country has improved under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Addressing the 58th Raising Day of the Sashastra Seema Bal SSB in New Delhi today, Mr. Pramanik said he has full faith that SSB will thwart anti-national forces working against the country. He said Sashastra Seema Bal successfully tackling insurgency in Jammu and Kashmir and natural activities in left-wing extremism affected states.
एसएसबी की शौर्य गाथा सिर्फ भारत नेपाल और भारत भूटान सीमा तक ही सीमित नहीं है, बल्कि राष्ट्र की देश की हर एक क्षेत्र, चाहे वो जम्मू कश्मीर हो, उग्रवाद प्रभावित क्षेत्र हो, चाहे वो बिहार, उड़ीसा या झारखंड का नक्सलवाद प्रभावित क्षेत्र हो, चाहे असम का उग्रवाद प्रभावित क्षेत्र, हर एक क्षेत्र में आप लोगों ने जिस ऊर्जा के साथ राष्ट्र के हित में काम किया, हर एक कार्य में जिस तत्परता, निष्ठा, जिस जिम्मेदारी के साथ आप लोगों ने काम किया, मैं फिर से आप लोगों का प्रशंसा करता हूं, सैल्यूट करता हूं.
Entry of trucks to Delhi have been permitted with immediate effect till further orders. Commission for Air Quality Management said construction and demolition activities in NCR are also permitted subject to persons and agencies undertaking activities strictly complying with dust control norms. The Commission eased the restrictions as air quality in Delhi has improved from very poor category and has been in the poor category consistently for the last 3 days. DG of J&K Police Dilbag Singh has said that launch pads and terror camps are active in Pakistan and are being used to infiltrate more terrorists with the support of the ISI and their army. However, the DGP said that our forces on the border and police in the hinterland are vigilant and alert to thwart any attempt of infiltration. He assured the general public that the fight against the proxy war unleashed by Pakistan and its terror groups will be dealt with more stringent response. He said that operation against the terrorists are carried out day and night, and the war against all those elements inimical to peace, people and development is being accelerated and will not let them succeed at any cost. Speaking to media persons in Kathua, the DGP said that we are proud that J&K Police is bravely fighting the Pak-sponsored proxy war for 30 years with courage and dedication and has succeeded while giving supreme sacrifice of many brave hearts. He said that our aim is to uproot terrorism from J&K.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. Best wishes to all consumers for Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Hallmark ensures purity of gold. Always purchase hallmarked gold jewellery. For any consumer-related complaints, please contact National Consumer Helpline's toll-free number 14404. Issued in public interest by Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India. Jago Grahak Jago.
आजादी के आंदोलन के खजाने में ऐसे ढेरों शब्द जिन्होंने बदल दिए इतिहास, तारीख बदलने वाले लफ्जों पर आकाशवाणी समाचार ला रहा है विशेष कार्यक्रम धरोहर हर सोमवार।
And now let's listen to our special program Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of this struggle every day.
In today's episode, we remember social and religious reformer Govind Guru, who was born on the 20th of December 1858 in Bansia, Rajasthan. Also known as Govind Giri, he was the pivotal force in uniting Bhils to demand an affirmed identity in British India.
Govind Guru started working with the Bhil community during the Great Famine of 1899-1900 and saw their oppression at the hands of the princely states. He quickly saw the social setup and liquor as the primary causes of the prevalent problems and decided to fight the Malays. He started Bhagat Sampradaya in 1908 to this end. The Guru's disciples followed strict rules, including abstinence from liquor and meat, the adoption of hygienic practices, and the rejection of bonded labor work.
Govind Giri garnered a large following among the tribals in the princely states of Sant, Banswara, Dungarpur and the British districts of Panchmahals. These reforms did not go down well with many princely states as revenues from liquor shops went down and labour became scarce. Govind Guru was arrested, and to further pressurize him, his wife and child were also arrested. However, he was released in April 1913 without being tried and ordered to leave Dungarpur state.
In November 1913, after an attempt by the ruler of erstwhile Idar state to capture Govind Guru, Guru and his followers formed a defensive position at Mangarh. On November the 17th, 1913, the troops of the princely states attacked them, in which several Bhils died, and Govind Giri and his lieutenant Dhirji Panja were captured. Govind Giri was initially given a death sentence, but was later sent for life imprisonment. However, he was released from prison in Hyderabad in 1919 on the condition that he would not participate in political activities. He was also prohibited from entering several princely states.
Govind Guru died on the 30th of October 1931 in Kamboi near Limdi in present-day Panchmahal district of Gujarat. We salute this great Indian patriot.
We also remember freedom fighter Vakkam Majid, who was born on December the 20th, 1909 in Travancore.
From his childhood, Majid was attracted to the social reform movement of his uncle Vakkam Maulvi as well as Narayan Guru. When the Indian national movement emerged in Kerala, Majid was in the forefront of its leadership. He was one of the early architects of the Indian National Congress in Travancore. Majid participated in the Quit India movement in 1942 and got jailed for several months. When the idea of independent Travancore was mooted, Majid was a staunch opponent of it and took part in the agitation against the move.
He was also a staunch opponent of the two-nation theory and Pakistan movement. Majid argued that only a secular nationalist India could keep the heart and soul of the masses together. When the INA hero Vakkam Khader was sentenced to death by the British, Majid visited him in the Madras Central Jail. It was Majid who brought Khader's last letter to his father before the hanging.
After independence, Majid was elected unopposed to the Travancore Cochin State Assembly from the Attingal constituency. He remained committed to his motherland till his death in the year 2000. We salute this great nationalist.
On 20th of December 1946, the Karibellore uprising took place, which is seen as the first major movement in the Malabar region by the farmers for land, food and freedom. The uprising was to fight the landlords who wanted to smuggle paddy from the village at a time of acute starvation.
When farmers opposed the landlords, they were indiscriminately fired at, and 2 farmers were killed, while many others were injured. It was the result of the Karivellore struggle that the peasants got land in the village, which was earlier vested with only a few landlords. We salute the martyrs. That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
In football, India has entered the final of the SAF Under-19 Women's Championship 2021. India beat Nepal 1-0 in their last group stage match in Dhaka yesterday. Priyanka Devi scored the winning goal in the 66th minute. India's combination play threatened the Nepal backline from the start. Nepal struggled to create chances with keep possession. India will play the final match on Wednesday. India finished second after group stage with 3 wins and 1 defeat against Bangladesh. Holders and hosts Bangladesh are unbeaten, winning 3 and drawing 1. The BCCI's All India Junior Selection Committee has announced a 17-member Indian squad for the upcoming ICC Under-19 World Cup 2022. The 14th edition of the Under-19 World Cup will take place in West Indies from January 14th to February 5th.
The India Meteorological Department has said that cold wave conditions are likely to continue during the next 2 days in North and West India and certain parts of West India. Meteorological Department said that dry northwesterly winds of about 10 to 15 kilometers per hour are likely to prevail over plains of northwest India till tomorrow, enhancing the adverse impact of cold wave and cold day conditions. Cold wave to severe cold wave conditions are very likely to continue to prevail over a few pockets of Punjab, Haryana and Chandigarh, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh tomorrow and very likely to abate thereafter. Cold wave conditions in a few pockets are very likely to continue to prevail over Jammu, Kashmir, Ladakh, Gilgit-Baltistan, Muzaffarabad and Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh and Chhattisgarh today and tomorrow, and are very likely to abate thereafter. Along with it, dense fog in isolated pockets over Uttarakhand will be witnessed during the next 2 days and over Punjab and Haryana on December 23rd and 24th. Churu in Rajasthan was the coldest place with minimum temperature at -2.4 degrees, which is 8.4 degrees below normal. Leh in North India, the minimum temperature was -14 degrees Celsius, while maximum is also -2 degrees Celsius. Srinagar, the temperature is hovering between -6 and 9 degrees. A look at the weather update for the day for other cities. National capital Delhi is likely to face cold wave with recorded minimum temperature of 4 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 19 degrees. Mumbai is likely to have mainly clear sky. It noted a minimum temperature of 20 degrees, maximum expected to be around 31. Chennai is likely to have partly cloudy sky. There will not be much change in temperature as it will vary between 20 and 29 degrees. Kolkata will have mainly clear sky. The city noted a minimum temperature of 11 degrees, maximum expected to be around 22 degrees. Srinagar will have mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards evening or night. Jammu will have partly cloudy sky, becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening or night. The minimum temperature was 5 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be around 16 degrees. Leh is likely to have mainly clear sky and temperature will vary between -14 and -2 degrees. Gilgit will have mainly clear sky with temperature hovering between -8 and 12 degrees. Muzaffarabad will have partly cloudy sky, becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening or night. Minimum temperature was 1 degree, while maximum will be around 15 degrees. On to the south, Visakhapatnam will have partly cloudy sky with haze. The city noted a minimum temperature of 20 degrees Celsius, while maximum to be around 29 degrees. Hyderabad temperature will hover between 13 and 28 degrees Celsius with fog or mist in the morning and mainly clear sky. 485 participants have been selected to perform on Republic Day 2022 parade to be held at Rajpath in New Delhi. Vande Bharatam final competition was held in New Delhi yesterday at Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium. 73 groups comprising 850 dancers from all 4 zones showcased their talent in the grand finale. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Lok Sabha adjourned till 2 p.m, Rajya Sabha till 3 p.m. Election Laws Amendment Bill 2021 envisaging to link Aadhaar with electoral roll data introduced in Lok Sabha. Centre informs Lok Sabha that medium of instruction in Indian and regional languages has been made compulsory in New Education Policy 2020. High-level team of Election Commission visits Goa to review assembly poll preparedness. Over 137 crore 67 lakh doses of COVID vaccine administered in the country so far. Recovery rate stands at 98.39%. Cold wave conditions to prevail for next 2 days in northwest India. In football, India enters final of SAF Under-19 Women's Championship 2021. And in cricket, BCCI announces Indian squad for Under-19 World Cup 2022. And with that, we end the midday news.